Great Pyramid redirects here. For the pyramid in Mexico, see Great Pyramid of Cholula. Great Pyramid of Giza. The Great Pyramid in May 2023. Khufu, Dynasty 4. Coordinates 29°5845 and 31°0803. Ancient name: Ake Khufu. Khufu's horizon: 1. Architect Himeyunu, presumed. Constructed c. 2600 BC, Old Kingdom. c. 4600 years ago. Type: true pyramid. Material: limestone, mortar, granite. Height: original, 146.6 meters, 481 feet, or 280 cubits. Current, 138.5 meters, 454 feet. Base: 230.33 meters, 756 feet, or 440 cubits. Volume: 2.6 million cubic meters, 92 million cubic feet. Slope: 51 degrees 50 minutes 40 seconds or seek to 5 plus 1/2 Palms, 2. UNESCO World Heritage Site. Part of Memphis and its necropolis, the Pyramid Fields from Giza to Dashur. Criteria: cultural, I-3-6. Reference 86-002. Inscription: 1979, 3rd session. Area: Arab states. Building details. Record height. Tallest in the world from c. 2600 BC to 1311 AD, I. Preceded by Red Pyramid, Egypt. Surpassed by Lincoln Cathedral, England, dubious, discuss. Great Pyramid is located in Egypt. Great Pyramid. Great Pyramid. Location: within Egypt. Show map of Egypt. Show map of Africa. Show all. The Great Pyramid of Giza, A, is the largest Egyptian pyramid. It served as the tomb of Pharaoh Khufu, who ruled during the 4th dynasty of the Old Kingdom. Built c. 2600 BC, 3, over a period of about 26 years, 4, the pyramid is the oldest of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, and the only wonder that has remained largely intact. It is the most famous monument of the Giza Pyramid Complex, which is part of the UNESCO World Heritage Site Memphis and its necropolis. 5. It is situated at the northeastern end of the line of the 3 main pyramids at Giza. Initially standing at 146.6 meters, 481 feet, the Great Pyramid was the world's tallest human-made structure for more than 3,800 years. Over time, most of the smooth white limestone casing was removed, which lowered the pyramid's height to the current 138.5 meters, 454.4 feet. What is seen today is the underlying core structure. The base was measured to be about 230.3 meters, 755.6 feet, square, giving a volume of roughly 2.6 million cubic meters, 92 million cubic feet, which includes an internal hillock. 6. The dimensions of the pyramid were 280 royal cubits, 146.7 m, 481.4 feet, high. The Great Pyramid was built by quarrying an estimated 2.3 million large blocks, weighing 6 million tons in total. The majority of the stones are not uniform in size or shape, and are only roughly dressed. 7. The outside layers were bound together by mortar. Primarily local limestone from the Giza Plateau was used for its construction. Other blocks were imported by boat on the Nile, white limestone from Tura for the casing, and blocks of granite from Aswan, weighing up to 80 tons, for the king's chamber structure. 8. There are 3 known chambers inside of the Great Pyramid. The lowest was cut into the bedrock, upon which the pyramid was built, but remained unfinished. The so-called 9 Queen's Chamber and King's Chamber, which contain a granite sarcophagus, are above ground, within the pyramid structure. Himeyunu, Khufu's vizier, is believed by some to be the architect of the Great Pyramid. 10. Many varying scientific and alternative hypotheses attempt to explain the exact construction techniques, but, as is the case for other such structures, there is no definite consensus. The funerary complex around the pyramid consisted of 2 mortuary temples connected by a causeway, one close to the pyramid and one near the Nile, tombs for the immediate family and court of Khufu, including 3 smaller pyramids for Khufu's wives, an even smaller satellite pyramid, and 5 buried solar barks. Purpose: the Great Pyramid of Giza was the tomb of Pharaoh Khufu. 11. and still contains his granite sarcophagus. 12. It had, like other tombs of Egyptian elites, for main purposes frowny face. 13. It housed the body of the deceased and kept it safe. 14. It demonstrated the status of the deceased and his family. It retained the deceased's place in society. It was a place where offerings could be brought to the deceased. Make your grave well furnished and prepare thy place in the west. Look, death counts little for us. Look, life is valued highly by us. The house of the dead, the tomb, is for life. 15, 16, 17. Excerpt from the instruction of Harjdef, son of Khufu. In ancient Egypt, high social status was considered absolutely positive, and the monumental social inequalities were symbolized by gigantic pyramids versus smaller mastabas. The sizes of tombs were regulated officially, with their allowed dimensions written down in royal decrees. In the Old Kingdom, only kings and queens could have a pyramid tomb. Architectural layout and funeral equipment were also sanctioned, and were, like access to material and workers, at the discretion of the king. 18. The Great Pyramid's internal chambers lack inscriptions and decorations, the norm for Egyptian tombs of the 4th to late 5th dynasty, apart from work gang graffiti that include Khufu's names. 19. Constructed around 2600 BC, it predates the custom of inscribing pyramids with text by over 200 years. 2. The pyramid complex of Khufu included 2 temples that were lavishly decorated and inscribed. The Pyramid Temple was dedicated to the Sed festival, celebrating Khufu's 30th Jubilee. 21. Surviving scenes portray Khufu, officials, priests, and other characters performing rituals. The Valley Temple remains largely unexcavated, but blocks reused by Amenemhati depict, for instance, nautical scenes and personifications of the estates of Khufu, e.g. the estate Khufu was beautiful. 22. The mortuary cult of Khufu, which operated in these temples for hundreds of years, indicates that Khufu was successfully interred in the Great Pyramid. 23. That the funeral was carried out by Khufu's son and successor Jedefra is evidenced by the presence of his cartouches on the blocks that sealed the boat pits next to the pyramid. 24. The Great Pyramid was likely looted as early as the First Intermediate Period and may have been reused afterwards. 25. Arab accounts tell stories of mummies and treasures being found inside the pyramid. For instance, Al-Makrizi, 1364–1442, reports the discovery of 3 shrouded bodies, a sarcophagus filled with gold, and a corpse in golden armor with a sword of inestimable value and a ruby as large as an egg. 26. Attribution to Khufu. Clay seal bearing the name of Khufu from the Great Pyramid on display at the Louvre Museum. Khufu's cartouche found inscribed on a backing stone of the pyramid. Historically, the Great Pyramid had been attributed to Khufu based on the words of authors of classical antiquity, first and foremost Herodotus and Diodorus Siculus. During the Middle Ages, other people were credited with the construction of the pyramid as well, for example Joseph from the Book of Genesis, Nimrod, or the legendary King Sorid ibn Salhauk. 27. In 1837, 4 additional relieving chambers were found above the king's chamber after tunneling to them. The chambers, previously inaccessible, were covered in hieroglyphs of red paint. The workers who were building the pyramid had marked the blocks with the names of their gangs, which included the pharaoh's name, e.g., the gang, the White Crown of Khnum Khufu is powerful. The names of Khufu were spelled out on the walls over a dozen times. Another of these graffiti was found by Goyen on an exterior block of the 4th layer of the pyramid. 28. The inscriptions are comparable to those found at other sites of Khufu, such as the alabaster quarry at Hatnub, 29, or the harbor at Wadi al-Jarf, and are present in pyramids of other pharaohs as well. 30, 31. Some inscriptions in the chapels of the mastabas, like the pyramid, their burial chambers were usually bare of inscriptions, mention Khufu or his pyramid. For instance, an inscription of Murciank III states that her mother is the daughter of the king of Upper and Lower Egypt Khufu. Most often these references are part of a title, for example, Snnwk, chief of the settlement and overseer of the pyramid city of Ake Khufu, 33, or Nikahap, priest of Khufu who presides over the pyramid Ake Khufu, 34, 35. Several tomb owners have a king's name as part of their own name, e.g. Chufajedif, Chufuzeneb, Marichufu. The earliest pharaoh alluded to in that manner at Giza is Snefru, Khufu's father. 36, 37. In 1936, Hassan uncovered a stela of Amenhotep II near the Great Sphinx of Giza, which implies the 2 larger pyramids were still attributed to Khufu and Khafre in the New Kingdom. It reads, He yoked the horses in Memphis when he was still young and stopped at the sanctuary of Horemheb, the Sphinx. He spent a time there in going round it, looking at the beauty of the sanctuary of Khufu and Khafra the revered. 38. In 1954, two boat pits, one containing the Khufu ship, were discovered buried at the south foot of the pyramid. The cartouche of Djedefre was found on many of the blocks that covered the boat pits. As the successor and eldest son, he would have presumably been responsible for the burial of Khufu. 39-24. The second boat pit was examined in 1987, excavation work started in 2010. Graffiti on the stones included 4 instances of the name Khufu, 11 instances of Djedefre, a year, in reign, season, month and day, measurements of the stone, various signs and marks, and a reference line used in construction, all done in red or black ink. 40. During excavations in 2013, the Diary of Mirror was found at Wadi al-Jarf. It documents the transportation of white limestone blocks from Tura to the Great Pyramid, which is mentioned by its original name Ake Khufu, with a pyramid determinative, dozens of times. It details that the stones were accepted at Ake Khufu, the pool of the pyramid horizon of Khufu, and Roshi Khufu, the entrance to the pool of Khufu, which were under supervision of Ankaf, the half-brother and vizier of Khufu, and the owner of the largest mastaba of the Giza East Field. 41.